It was good, y'all. Fuzion here, back with another reaction video. More first take, nothing new. Stephen A. talked about Ja Morant's 25-game suspension not being reduced. I didn't know that it was up for review. I think that the 25 games will do him good. I think that if he is actual hooper like he says, or he was like being portrayed as, I think he's gonna take it to heart and seeing that his team is playing without him, and I think that way he will learn. I think adding Derrick Rose, a vet who I think they have a very similar game, so I could see him learning a lot from that, and Marcus Smart as well. I could see Ja Morant learning to be a better defender. I've said this multiple times. If you are a athletic monster like him, like other players like him, you should be able to defend. And I believe he could learn a thing or two from Marcus Smart on the defensive end. So I think that this will be good for him to watch, sit down, learn, and hopefully he can just take it to heart and grow. So let's go ahead and see what Stephen A. has to say. Oh, shout out to Molly. She looks good today.
Well, listen, what we want to do is we want to cut the kids some slack in this regard. The punishment has already come down. The die has been cast. We understand what's been transpiring. Ja Morant, he's responsible. The company that you keep, he's responsible for that. He is not a child. He is a young man, but he is a man. And he has to be held accountable for the decisions that he made. He met with the commissioner. He lied to his face, told him that that's not how he lives and that's not what he's about, and it wouldn't happen again. And then sure enough, there was video of him happening again. But the stupidity in it all is with the company that he's been around, because they're the ones who filmed it. Okay? This stuff that was on Instagram or wherever the hell it was, that wasn't TMZ or somebody catching him. That was him. Now, I am a fan of Ja Morant. He is a superstar. He is box office. We are all better in terms of the game of basketball when this brother is on the court and he is balling. That piece by ESPN was very, very, very incriminating, because what it highlighted is that the organization sat down, spoke to him, told him he was effing up, and he dismissed them like yesterday's trash. They pointed out the company he keeps. Part of that company is his daddy.
All right. Eventually we're going to be talking. Eventually we should talk about how media portrays overactive. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say it. We're going to talk about how they portray strong black male fathers who are confident and are there for their sons and who are vocal. People had a problem with LeVar Ball. I had no problem with LeVar Ball. I thought he was funny. I thought he was there for he's there for his kids. All three of his children are successful. Was he a lot? Absolutely not. He reminds me of my dad. He reminds me of my uncle. He reminds me of my grandparents. That is normal in the black community. Ja Morant's dad. I don't think Ja Morant's dad is bad. I have no problem with Ja Morant's father. He talks, yes, because people come up to him, put the mic in his face, and he acts like every other black dad. I think they're trying to portray Ja Morant's father as, I don't know if portraying him as, but pushing this narrative that Ja Morant's dad is the reason that Ja Morant is how he is now, if that makes sense. This is a normal thing. If a black father figure is outspoken, confident for their child, is pushing their child, and their child is successful, and then the dad is bragging about their child, it becomes an issue. Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders gets a lot of limelight and hate because of how confident he is. And his sons are confident because they see his father being confident. For some reason, it's a different lens when a strong black male figure is being confident within themselves than it is for the white counterpart. And personally, I don't like bringing race into it because when we do, it is it's involved in 90% of a lot of stuff that goes on. So if I gotta bring it up here, then I will have to bring it up in future videos, having to discuss stuff like this. But this is another example of the LeVar Ball situation, of Deion Sanders a situation, just more of the same. And eventually ESPN is going to have to talk about this I don't want to say this hate, but this over analyzation of a father being proud of their son.
Somebody's got to say it, so I'm going to say it. T. Morant, I don't know the man from a can of paint. I've met him a couple of times. Seems to be a very nice guy. Looking forward to meeting him in the future. Not rooting against him or anything like that. You are not your son. Your son is the NBA star. Your dad. And to me, even though I will hold John Morant like everybody else will say he's a young man, he got to handle his business. The other side to it that I think is really, really sad is the fact that dad has been around busy being one of the boys, it appears. According to all the reports. It's not me, it's the reports that have been put out there. Dad has been busy being one of the fellas instead of daddy. Now,
I feel like that's hard to really know or say without knowing the guy. If the report is true, I don't know how much of an issue that really can be. John Morant is a multi-millionaire, multi-millionaire? I guess that's how you say it. And that is because of his father. I think, personally, if I get rich enough for my dad to just be himself and let him be one of the boys, to take that responsibility of being a father, even slightly reducing the provider side of it for him, since he has done so much for me and my family and my brothers, I will let him do that. I will let him go out there and do whatever the hell he wanted to do as a child, because he couldn't do that because he was so focused on growing his family. I think that as a son, as a daughter, as a child of someone, that is your responsibility once you get enough money to do that, or if you ever do get enough money to do that. I think that is your responsibility to let your parents live the life they want to do, live the life that they want after they did their job, if that makes sense. I don't know. Again, I have no idea about what this article was about John Morant's dad. The only stuff I see about John Morant's dad is he wears chains and quote unquote rapper gear, which I find that shit so stupid that they're talking about his fits. He dressed like a normal dude, but because he's a father, they think he's supposed to dress like a father. Some of these fathers be fresh, and half the time it is because of the wife. My dad started getting clean after my mom started realizing, hey, you can't be wearing jorts all the time. Change it up. So I feel like there's some extra sauce being added, and I feel like because John Morant's daddy is out in the limelight, just like they did with just like they did with LeVar, it is an issue. I completely disagree with that, but let's go ahead and continue.
Ja Morant, this suspension is going to cost him a minimum of $39 million. Because obviously there's incentives in your contract that enables you, positions you to get even additional dollars if you're an All-NBA player, etc. You've got to play a number of games, and he's not going to be able to do that because he's already suspended for 25 games. I know that he's in line to get $235 million over the next 5 years. Molly, $39 million is $39 million. $39 million. Why? Because y'all don't know how to act. That makes no sense whatsoever. So I think that now that this story has come out, now that his suspension has been handed down, now that he can get past that and he can move forward, we are all rooting for Ja Morant. We are better served when Ja Morant is on the basketball court because he is spectacular. Man, stay your behind out of trouble. Don't mess around with guns. Leave that to somebody else. Let your security handle that, whatever the case may be. Just go about the business of handling your business, because next time this happens, if this ever happens again, I can promise you the penalty coming down from the NBA will be far, far more stiffer than this 25-game suspension.
And that is true as well. Ja Morant, you're gonna need to be on your best behavior. I better see you at all of the NBA care events. I better see you doing hella charity. I better see you being a supermodel citizen, a model citizen to the fullest once your suspension is done and while you're going through that suspension. Because the NBA is going to have a microscope on you until someone else fucks up. And by the looks of it, it probably may be someone in Charlotte, because they be doing some dumb shit in Charlotte. But that being said, bro, I hope for the best for Ja Morant. You know, yeah, I'm just hoping for the best for him, man, because he seems like a good dude. He's a great talent. He's a great player. I just hope that he can also grow and become a great man after that side of it. And y'all need to ease up on his dad, bro. Like, fathers can only take so much of the blame until you gotta blame it on the child as well. Take that from someone who has done some dumb shit, you know. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about the whole situation. Do you guys still think 25 games is enough? Do you think it's a lot? I personally think it's perfect, because I think that it's gonna sting for him. I do think it's gonna sting. Not even just like the money part. And of course, that's a lot of money, like, don't get me wrong, but if he's a hooper like he says he is, or that is like being like portrayed, I think that it's gonna sting. It's gonna sting. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.